The next 90 days could define the future for XRP. For what feels like forever, XRP has been a sleeping giant, trading sideways and testing the patience of its most loyal holders. But while the price has been quiet, a few massive catalysts have been aligning behind the scenes. We're talking about the final chapter of a multi-year lawsuit, game-changing moves in the world of finance, and a fundamental shift in how Ripple operates. By the end of this video, you will know the 3 catalysts every XRP holder needs to be watching, how they could trigger some serious volatility, and what analysts are predicting for the rest of 2025. And the first one is all about Ripple's biggest ambition yet. Welcome to the Money Blueprint. I am your host, Michael. Let's be real. If you're an XRP holder, you know the frustration. While other coins were making headlines, XRP was stuck in a seemingly endless holding pattern. After a hopeful surge in mid-2023, the momentum just fizzled out, leaving a lot of investors wondering, so what's next? Is the big move ever going to actually happen? That sideways price action, that frustrating quiet, has been the main story for a while now. It's tested the conviction of the XRP army and made a lot of people question the entire narrative. But here's what the market might be missing. This has not been a period of inactivity. It's been a period of building. Under the surface, Ripple has been laying the groundwork for its next chapter, and the deadlines are approaching. The quiet before the storm might just be coming to an end. This first catalyst is the one that could truly change the game for Ripple, and it's all about the speculation surrounding its ambition to bridge the gap into traditional banking. For years, there has been talk in the community about Ripple potentially seeking a national banking license from the U.S. Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, OCC. Now let's break down why this rumor is so powerful. If Ripple were to ever pursue and get this license, it wouldn't just be about becoming a bank. It would be about building a fully regulated, federally supervised bridge directly into the heart of the U.S. financial system. An approval like that would give Ripple the authority to operate as a national bank, offering services like digital asset custody and payment settlement under one federal framework. This would eliminate the complicated mess of state-by-state licenses and set a whole new standard for trust in the crypto industry. Just think about what that would mean for institutional adoption. A company speaking the language of Wall Street and global finance would be a massive signal. CEO Brad Garlinghouse has talked about the power of having both state and federal oversight, which would create a powerful standard for trust. While there is no public evidence that Ripple has formally applied for this license or for a Federal Reserve master account, the strategic direction is clear. Ripple wants deeper integration. This single potential move, becoming a national trust company, could fundamentally change the perception of Ripple from a fintech company to a core piece of future financial plumbing. Now let's talk about the second catalyst, the fuel for this potential new engine, Ripple's planned stablecoin, RLUSD. A lot of people hear stablecoin and tune out, but in this context it's one of the most exciting parts of the story. RLUSD isn't just another digital dollar. The plan is for it to be a fully regulated $1 asset. The goal is for it to launch on the XRP ledger and Ethereum, designed from the ground up to meet the high standards of financial institutions. So, why is this so important for XRP? Because RLUSD and the XRP ledger are designed to work together. Every transaction with RLUSD on the ledger will require a tiny amount of XRP for fees, which is then burned. This creates a constant, utility-driven demand for XRP that grows as the stablecoin gets used more. The growth of a trusted, Ripple-backed stablecoin would also showcase the power of the ecosystem. As banks look for better alternatives to slow, expensive wire transfers, a regulated stablecoin from a company they know becomes a very attractive option. And this isn't just theory. The on-chain data shows the network is busy. Reports from June showed the XRP ledger was processing over 5.2 million transactions daily, with a surge in active wallets pointing to real user engagement. The combination of a future regulated stablecoin and an active, efficient ledger creates a powerful flywheel for institutional adoption. Okay, we've covered 2 massive potential catalysts that are on the horizon. If you're getting value from this breakdown and starting to see the bigger picture for XRP, do me a quick favor and smash that like button. It just takes a second, but it tells YouTube that this is an important update that more of the XRP community needs to see. It also helps us keep the channel going so we can bring you regular updates. Thanks for that. Now let's get to the final catalyst that's happening right now. we have to talk about the elephant in the room, the SEC lawsuit, which is our third catalyst. For years, this case has been a dark cloud hanging over XRP, creating uncertainty and killing institutional adoption in the United States. But we are finally in the last chapter of this legal drama. Let's be clear about what's already been won. The July 2023 ruling by Judge Analisa Torres was a huge victory. She declared that XRP is not a security when it's sold to the public on exchanges. That ruling legitimized XRP for everyday holders and the secondary market. So what's left? The final stage is all about the penalties related to Ripple's historical sales to institutional clients, which the court did find were unregistered securities offerings. Recent court filings suggest both sides are getting ready for a final judgment, which would bring this whole thing to a close. Legal experts believe a resolution is coming soon, with status reports expected by mid-August 2025. The end of this lawsuit, no matter the final penalty amount, is a huge bullish catalyst. It removes the last piece of major regulatory baggage that has held Ripple and XRP back in the US. It would give nervous US institutions the green light they've been waiting for and could finally open the door to major products like a spot XRP ETF, which has been the subject of intense speculation. So, with these three massive catalysts, the banking speculation, the upcoming RLUSD, and the end of the SEC lawsuit, all converging, what could this mean for the price of XRP? This is where we look at what analysts are saying, and I have to remind you, this is not financial advice, just an analysis of market data and expert opinions. Right now, the technical picture is looking more and more bullish. The Fear and Greed Index is showing extreme greed, and XRP has shown signs of breaking out of its long-term resistance. If these catalysts hit in a positive way, especially with a favorable resolution to the SEC lawsuit, analysts are eyeing some big targets. Many forecasts for the next 90 days see XRP potentially trading in a range between $2.70 and $3.09. Some technical analysts are targeting the $3.40 zone. Bullish outliers are even more optimistic, predicting a possible surge toward $4.20 or even higher if institutional money starts to flow in. Looking toward the end of 2025, some models predict XRP could land somewhere between $5 and $9, especially if adoption ramps up like many expect. Now, you always have to consider the other side. If the final ruling gets delayed again, or if the whole crypto market hits a downturn, XRP could pull back. In that case, analysts are watching key support levels. A healthy correction could bring the price back to the $2.60 or even the $1.90 support zone before trying to move up again. The RSI, or Relative Strength Index, is also showing the asset is getting a bit overbought in the short term, which could mean it needs to cool off before it can go higher. It's critical to watch these support levels. As long as they hold, the underlying bullish trend is still in play. So, here's the bottom line. The story around XRP is changing. We are moving out of the era of legal uncertainty and into a new one that could be defined by regulatory clarity and real-world use. The three things you have to watch over the next 90 days are: 1. Any chatter around Ripple's regulatory strategy, especially concerning banking. This is the key to deep institutional trust. 1. The official launch and adoption of RLUSD. This will be the clearest sign of the ecosystem's utility. 1. The final resolution of the SEC lawsuit. This removes the biggest roadblock for US adoption and a potential ETF. The convergence of these events means the long, frustrating wait could be coming to an explosive end. The foundation has been laid. The pieces are moving. The next 90 days are going to be critical. As always, you have to do your own research and make calls based on your own goals and what you're comfortable risking. This is not financial advice, but I want to know what you think. What are your predictions? Where do you see the price of XRP by the end of 2025? Drop your price target in the comments below. I read every single one. And finally, if you want to stay ahead of the curve on XRP and get deep dive analyses like this one before the rest of the market, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. You won't want to miss what happens next. Thanks for watching. This is the Money Blueprint, and I am your host Michael, and I'll see you in the next video.